Okay, so my rawhide is all dry. It's nice and dry before I even started rasping it. Then I came through the handle area on the back with my the rough side of my rasp, and I'm knocking off all the corners on the rawhide until I can just see the side profile of the rawhide, and that's it. And I'm trying to stay as 90 degrees to the back of the bow, this rawhide side, as I can. So I'm almost done with that now. Another thing I did is I took the big farrier's rasp, and if you remember before, this limb was really square and it's thicker down here, and I'm still doing it. I have to thin out the ends yet, and I've just been taking off the top. Dog wants to be a boy here too. Watch out, buddy. But just taking off the top like this, and then I'll flip it around. Usually I'll use the fine side to do the corners. I don't want to get too aggressive on the side, so I use the fine side. And then you eventually have to go over the top of the fine side too. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get these down to where they're going to start bending a little bit, and I'm not there yet. I haven't bent this bow at all, and I'm just going from past experience as to how thick I want this. And I know that right now it's going to be thicker, at least down here, so I'm going to thin these out until it starts bending before I stop. I also came through in this handle area with the rough side of this 4-way, and I know right where the middle of my bow is going to be. The balance point is right about there. Center of the bow is here, and this is where you grab it right here. So you're shooting right off the balance point, and I like that. So that's where I'm going to be grabbing the bow. So I went and I made a big trough with this in the back. And then I flipped around the other rough side, and I smooth it out a bit. And I've just been doing that, rounding the corners off and thinning it out in every dimension of the bow, and I'm slowly sneaking in on the final dimensions. As soon as I get these a little thinner, then I can make a long string and I can start thinking about bending it, but I'm not even going to try now. And then later on, when I come back with this file, I'll come back with the fine side and I'll round these over just a little bit. I don't want to expose too much of it, but I want to take the sharp corners off this rawhide when I'm finished. Right now I'll leave it like that. That way if I get a ding in it or something, I can get it out. But like I said, I'm just going to thin this out until I think I can start bending it, and I'll make a long string for it. Okay, what I'm doing is I'm taking this 4-way rasp. It's got that little half round on it, and I'm shaping this handle area. What I'm doing is I'm just feeling it. I'm feeling that's okay, that's where I want my hand to be. And right where I decided, I started making a trough with this one, a round trough, and it gets to where it's a real round with sharp edges on the side. And you follow it up with the other rough side of this rasp, and you take off those sharp edges. And that's what I've been doing, is I've just been sneaking up on it. And you have to take into consideration you're going to have a handle material, so I'm going to go just slightly smaller than I want, for my final dimensions. So I'm getting real close there, and I'm rounding this back off and thinning it up as I go, and it'll be a little bit thinner yet because these corners are still pretty sharp when you feel it. And don't be afraid to round those off to make it comfortable. It's just a balancing act between removing too much and weakening the handle area and comfort. And I like to err on the side of having a little bit bigger handle area, not breaking it. But yeah, so I'll take a little bit more off of there yet, and then I'll move on to thinning these limbs out more. Now another part of the bow I've been working on too are these knocks, and I just got some rudimentary knocks going right now. But this is the style I like currently. You can see it. It has a groove right here, and then in this upper area is thinner. And I like it for a couple reasons. They're still plenty strong. There's plenty of wood from here down. It's still got a high shear strength. And then you can take away this top, which makes it a lighter tip without all the extra bulky weight on the sides. And then finally, if you don't get these grooves lined up, you can just work one down to match the other one and remove wood on top of it, and so it's an easy one to make too. Just the best of all the worlds. And the back is right there. How I started is I pick a spot on either side of this rawhide, and I just go in with this it's a chainsaw sharpening file, a chain sharpening file, and I start with that here, and I make a notch on either side, only pushing towards the rawhide, and then I do the same on the bottom, and then I'll take these and connect them. And there's still a long way to go, but what I was trying to do with these knocks so far is just get it to the point where I can get a string on it, so when I start long string tillering this bow, it's going to hold the string on. I'll come back later on and I'll thin these way out and shine them up and make them look all pretty. But I want to leave them a little larger in dimension, so in case there's any nicks or scratches or anything, I can reduce it and get rid of them, so it looks nice at the end. Okay, got this piece of walnut in the vise here, and I'm working on making this taper down to the tip and thin this tip out more. I'm here and I can't bend this tip yet, so I know I need to remove a little bit more wood, and then I want a nice smooth transition from the thinner tip to the top, the thicker part towards the handle. And it all has to be a nice taper because this is a parallel limb, so it needs to taper this way to have an even bend. But I can see this is still way heavy yet, and I just like to sneak in on the dimensions, and I'm taking it down this way right now. I'll come back with my small 4-way rasp, and I'll take these corners down, and then I'll test the bend again and see if it's starting to bend at all. And I'll stop when it's just starting to bend, and it's not even close yet, so I'll keep working. And you always want to round the corners off before you check the bend, because those corners are, it's still wood, you're still removing wood, so when you round it off you're getting closer to the actual performance of the wood. And I still need to remove some again. So I'm going to come back with the big farrier's rasp and take another couple layers off here and thin it out a little bit.